Even if you think AI is not going to take your job anytime soon, assume it will.
Whenever you are thinking about going back to school, start thinking about AI and maybe taking courses on AI.
If you guys want to, get your payment, just come and live in Amazon City.
We're seeing more and more headlines about AI taking over jobs, but what does that really mean for us? Is it all doom and gloom, or is there another side to this story? Let's get into the video.
What happens when AI inevitably takes over most of the jobs and there's not really a job that AI can't do? Because my original thought was, oh, well, they're going to have to pay people. Like if everyone loses their jobs because AI is now taking place in all the jobs and AI is now working all the jobs, there's no more jobs for people to have, they're going to have to pay everyone, right? That was my original thought. But then I was like, I hope it wouldn't be some company city type of situation like, oh, live in Amazon City. And you can live in Amazon City for free, but you also have to work for us. And there's basically no other jobs for you to do besides specifically Amazon jobs because AI does all the other jobs. So if you guys want to, get your payment and get your free housing and get your free healthcare and all that, just come and live in Amazon City. Come and live in Google City. Come and live in Facebook City, Meta City. Like, I feel like that would kind of be where they go with that. Supposedly, allegedly. I don't know. But I feel like we're on the way towards AI taking over most of the jobs. So we're going to need to figure out what's happening after the fact because I'm not doing no fucking company city, company town, living in that city for free and getting free housing and free healthcare. But I just have to work for the company. No, absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely no, not in any way. They're going to have to figure out some other shit. Yeah, because I'm not going to continue the capitalism bullshit. I'm really not. That's not my journey. That's not my vibe. That's not my life. I don't love that. That is not a slay.
Okay, where you gonna go? Like, if every city is a company city, where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Like, like, I understand, man. Look, whatever happens, there's no way that they can leave humans without money to buy stuff. There's no way. There's no way. If 75% of the people can't afford anything because there's no jobs, because AI is taking over every job, then what? Like if can't nobody afford a car, the auto industry would disappear. Who cares if they have AI creating everything? Nobody is buying anything because nobody can. Real estate would go down the drain. Can't nobody afford a house? Can't nobody afford an apartment? Nobody can work. 75% of the population is without a job because of AI. Everything around us would fall. So they will figure it out. Like our politicians, they will figure it out. They're forced to, because they're forced to. Like, there wouldn't be a society if it came to that. So let's keep going though.
We got another opportunity. I'm telling you, there's not going to be no more opportunities. AI is coming to take all these jobs. Robots is coming to take these jobs. Like, you think these companies care so much about your bag to the point that where they'll be like, nah, we not going to get these robots. All we got to do is pay for them one time and they going to sit there, program them and do the work for, like, no, they don't want to deal with you showing up late, calling off work. Oh, you see, a robot don't get sick. A robot don't call off. AI don't complain. AI just do its job. That's what I'm saying. And then, like, come on, man. Y'all 35, 40, y'all about to have no more chances. Y'all think y'all got all this time and you really do not. You do not. It's time to lock in before you get locked out. It's that simple.
Well, AI will get sick. Like some point. AI will get sick. Just like computers now, they break down, they freeze, they have troubleshooting issues that a human has to fix. So that's like the computer getting sick. AI will get sick. You won't need as many people, as many employees to, control and program and oversee the AI, what it's doing. But you're going to need people, but it's going to be less, of course. But yeah, AI will get sick, you know. Uh, let's go.
So I'm seeing a bunch of people on LinkedIn be like, oh, the layoffs happened because AI is writing everyone's code. Are you guys dumb? Have you never written a line of code in your life? Like, this only makes you look more stupid. Do you think we were waking up being like, oh, we don't have work to do today because AI wrote all my code. Oh my God, I guess I'm just gonna chill and do nothing all day. No, we were all doing real work. Every single one of the 7,000 people that got laid off yesterday had a real job and woke up working on something, having a project in progress that was abruptly cut. Not even our managers, not even their managers knew. There was no planning ahead. This is nothing but a puppet show to drive stock prices up and down. This has nothing to do with AI taking over our jobs, and any company that tells you AI is writing this code is fucking lying to you. It can help us write code, but it is nowhere near a place where it can replace a software engineer, let alone 7,000. Don't be dumb.
And somebody knew this was coming. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I feel like firing 7,000 people today. You know, it doesn't happen. Layoffs, somebody knew that this was coming. This was planned. This was strategic. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen. People know about it before it happens.
Here's the scary truth. In about 5 years, most of the skills that you use today will be completely useless, and most people won't even move fast enough to keep up. I'm getting a master's degree in AI. I want to tell you about it. AI isn't just another tool. It's replacing entire chunks of jobs, coding, research, and now even customer service. If you only upskill, like learning the next AI app or the best prompt to use, you're only adding a bucket to a sinking ship. The hard truth is that many people, instead of upskilling, will need to reskill, switching to an entirely new career path, or they're going to get left behind. Just look at the companies that saw this coming. Amazon turned warehouse workers into software developers. Bosch paid old school engine engineers to train for green tech jobs and even gave them days off to study. Ericsson, a European phone service provider, has started to turn their telecom specialists into AI and data science experts. These companies acted early, and now their workers are in high demand roles. Meanwhile, people who stuck with outdated skills, thinking it could never happen to me, are watching their jobs shrink in real time. Don't be the person who waits until the pink slip shows up. Start your reskilling journey now while you still have the choice.
The companies are adapting. Companies are starting to adapt. So you also have to adapt. You have to adapt. There's like, it's coming. AI, of course, is coming, but it's here. It's starting. The process is starting. It's time to adapt. You can't fight against it. We're not going to be able to. It's too beneficial for too many people. It's here. We have to adapt. That's just the bottom line. That's it. I mean, but stick around. We got more video though. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, comment your thoughts down below, and don't forget to subscribe. But let's keep going.
The CEO of Anthropic, which is an AI company, and a LinkedIn executive both just said that in the next 1 to 5 years, AI will eliminate just about every white-collar entry-level jobs. These are your corporate office jobs. Not only is this really important to understand, the call to action is that you need to spend this time getting a physical skill, trade, or certification. If not, you will be cooked. You will not make it in the next 1 to 5 years. It is already June of 2025. Think how close 1 year is from now. It will go by much faster than you are expecting. Spend this time preparing by getting certifications. I'm talking physical trades, plumbing, mechanic, AI certifications, very detailed, specific certifications. I don't care if it's quantitative analytics, a technical writer, whatever the case might be. Spend this time focusing on that. Cybersecurity is another example. Thirdly and lastly, The CEO of Anthropic went on to say that CEOs are too afraid to mention it. To this day, there are already CEOs demanding that executives and leaders in their companies prove that a human can do the work better than AI, and politicians have no way to approach it as well. They estimate that unemployment will increase by 20% over the next 1 to 5 years. Tremendous. Go get skills, trades, and certifications. The CEO.
Like everybody can't do that. Like everybody can't go get a physical skill trade. Everybody doesn't have the capability of doing that. I'm talking mentally, physically. Everybody can't do that. Like I said, we have to adapt, yes, but the world also has to adapt. Because if the only jobs left are physical jobs, it doesn't matter if everybody goes and gets a certification in something. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be people without work. That's why the world will adapt. You know, I know it's scary, people freaking out, but the world will adapt. Society will adapt to this AI coming on strong like it is. Or society will fall if it doesn't adapt. I don't care how much AI is implemented. If society doesn't adapt to it, society will fall. I'm talking society adapt in a way where it's beneficial to the people, to the masses, or society will fall. And I don't think the government will let that happen because they'll be affected too. So, but let's go.
Medical professionals or anybody looking to be a medical professional, please just listen to me. So be very careful. If you have not already made the decision to go into medical, you might want to think twice and make sure you double check a whole bunch of boxes because AI is literally taking over. If you have not heard of Agent Hospital, look it up. It can treat 3,000 patients in one day with 0 human assistance. That's a robot. We also have things that are being piloted in labs, taking over lab assistants, taking over the scientists in the lab. We have people or programs that are taking over radiology positions because they can diagnose and put a treatment plan together for x-rays, CT scans, MRIs, quicker with more accuracy rate. And then we've got things like the Da Vinci for surgeries where it's completely, you're almost eliminating the human need in surgeries. It's the accuracy rate and the error rate is corrected by so much in so many areas. We also have things that are being piloted in the US, like little robot machines that come to the patients and a doctor can operate it from outside of the area. But again, we already got a robot that can treat 3,000 patients in a day. Be very careful when looking into the medical field. Granted, a robot cannot take over the empathy and the specific care that humans can give. But when the accuracy rate is a lot higher and we have so many issues with people who are getting into the medical field for the wrong reasons and then tainting that field for the ones of us who are like really good and passionate about what we do, it's going to make it a whole lot harder for us to be able to fight against this. So if you are not somebody who has a complete passion for medical care, please just go in a different direction. If you are in medical care and you don't have a passion for it, put in your 2 weeks notice, please. If you do have a passion, fight, show that your care is needed, show that the opportunities that you give as a human being are needed in the medical care. And again, look up these different things. And if you're looking to get into the medical field and you have a passion for it, make sure that you are looking into a field that will last, that you will be able to have a foothold in for a very long time to be able to provide for your family.
And I mean, that's like anything. Well, any job. Your goal in any job is to show the people, management, ownership, whoever, that they need you. Like that's the goal. Show that they need you, that you're valuable in this company. That should be your goal. Like, don't just like slave for them, like working overtime and don't take overtime pay and don't do all that. Don't sacrifice your mental health, your physical health, your sanity but make them recognize that, hey, they need you. That's any job. Any job you go to, that should be one of your goals. Because that will allow you some resemblance of job security. There's no such thing as 100% job security, but you will be up there in the percentile if you show them that, hey, you need me. So yeah, let's go.
To the people out there who can't do their work without AI, listen. We need to have a talk. We need to have a closed door conversation. I just feel like people have been like way too willing to have AI become a significant part of their life. Like, no, like some of y'all aren't critically thinking hard enough for me. And you know what? I want to sit here and say I can't blame you for that, but at some point we do have to take some accountability. Like, more than half of y'all that are using AI to do your work right now, y'all will be jobless in the next 2 to 3 years. I can promise you that. And it just blows my mind that like it's so obvious and people are like, oh yeah, like I just use it to do mundane tasks. Like I just do this, I just do that. Girl, you are actively working yourself out of a job. Actively. It just upsets me. Like, as somebody who it's hard for me to get a job already. I graduated college in 2023. Girl, I have not had a serious job yet. And I was not using AI for my work. And this even goes down to, if you cannot write a paper without using AI, you're done. You're done. And I'm not saying swear off technology forever, because that was never going to be possible. Like, for years now, like in textbooks and stuff, they're always talking about the possibilities of all the things we can do with technology and with AI and all this stuff. That was always coming. But y'all weren't getting to the end of the chapter where they had the counter argument, where they list the cons. And the other problem is that the businesses and the corporations, they don't care about none of that. They don't care about the cons. But we as people, we got to be like, well, girl, I can't keep accepting the less that they're giving me. Like, this is such a big conversation to have. And it goes beyond just the environmental concerns for the earth. Like, yeah, the supercomputers, water, the earth warming, all of these things. But like, also, you will be jobless soon. Like, we as humans have become so complacent with just expecting things to be there, despite every year things being taken away. So like, I'm confused as to how like nobody's thinking that AI won't do that exact same thing. Yes, if we had ethical people in power, people with morals, yeah, there's a way that humans and technology can work together. But that has never been what's going on here. And I'm going to leave that alone. And actually, one more thing. I think something that gets me is people are like, just put this thing in the AI, like just put this in ChatGPT. Why would I want the computer to think like me? Why would I want that? If the computer thinks like me, if it thinks like you, if it thinks like Sally Mae on 10th Street, there's no need for the three of you anymore. I need you to let it click. Let it click. Like, it immediately makes your thoughts obsolete. I need us to put the pieces together. And I think that we want to believe that, oh, AI could never create something as good as a human. And I will say, I agree with that. However, if you give something enough information, eventually it's going to be able to spit something out that's pretty similar to it. And I'm just not getting how like people are missing that part. I'm not understanding that. I'm not understanding that. I'm not even going to sit here and deny some of the AI stuff looks unrealistic, looks like shit right now. That's nothing that like 3 years time can't polish and fix. That, like, I think that we are expecting computers and stuff to learn at the same pace that we as humans do, and that is just not the case. Like I said, I'm gonna leave that alone though. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Look, I'm sure when people started using computers and, the computers started to take over and do things and process things, and like people used to use typewriters to type papers and to type stuff, okay? And people graduated to computers. I'm sure there were a list of people saying, oh, oh, you got to fight against these computers because they could take jobs and computers are going to destroy the industry and all that. And they lost that fight. They lost because you can't fight against it. It's too valuable of a tool for a company not to implement it. Just like AI is too valuable of a tool. Companies are going to implement it. They are going to use it. You can fight all you want. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We just have to adapt. That's it. That's simple. Well, it's maybe not be simple. It's a process, but start that process ASAP.
What jobs are we going to have once AI and robots take them all away from us? You guys have been raising some valid concerns in the comments. How is all this going to affect you? So first, remember that when we implement all these robots, labor is going to be super duper cheap. It's going to plummet in cost. And this is going to allow for products to become cheaper all around. Now, the first companies that utilize these robots are going to see massive profits. And I agree with you all. They're not going to share it with us, and they definitely ain't going to share it with the robots. But think about it. There are many other factors at play here, and they're all going to converge in the near future and change and evolve our economy. Throughout all of human history, humans have been the ones driving the economy. We were the ones who made things happen and held companies accountable for their actions. We demanded more pay. We demanded fairer work conditions. We also formed unions, and this is what helped us as humans live and have higher wages. Now, with all that out of the picture, though, where does that leave us? When you can print laborers like paper, right? You can print many robots as you want to as a company and have exponential increases in production with almost no cost. We have to slowly stray away from this old traditional way of economics of companies giving employees wages. That is no longer going to hold in the future when anybody can have employees. In other words, even the common person is going to be able to deploy their own robot employees out into the workforce and generate their own profits for them. So with all this cheap labor, almost free labor, this is going to cause lots of costs of items to go down all across the board, from transportation to housing to healthcare. What this means is that we can decrease the cost of living itself. The things we do today are going to be dirt cheap in the near future. Things like electric cars, self-driving cars. Why would you want to own a car in the future when you can just share it with others? It's self-driving, it does what it needs to, right? You can have robots use it over and over, do anything for you. So you would actually erase your car bill. You would also erase your insurance bill, because in the future, cars are going to be accessible to anybody, anytime. We're also going to see decrease in energy costs as solar and wind become more prevalent, because a lot more robots are going to be deployed, enabling them to produce these things for us. So those are also going to be shared. Housing costs will decrease as we do more 3D printing of houses. There's new neighborhoods being developed with all 3D printed homes. Education costs will be very low because of things like GPT 4.0, where you can literally just, have an AI teach you things. Your AI tutor. Healthcare costs will decrease as doctors are replaced with AI. So yes, unemployment will gradually increase as our jobs get taken away, but there will be also at the same time slow decrease in cost of living enabled by this technology. So what this means in the next 5, 6, 7 years, we're going to see a slow uptick in 4-day work weeks, then 3-day work weeks, then 2-day work weeks. Slowly but surely there'll be less and less work out there for humans. And at the same time, it will be up to governments and people to demand things like universal basic income and perhaps even UBS, universal basic services.
That's what I'm saying. Adapting. Society will have to adapt. If they will have to just give out money to people, that's what they have to do. If humans don't have money, society will fall. They can't let that happen. They can't. All right? I know it's panic. It's stressful, but we will be fine. But I still have more video. Stick around, okay? Don't leave just yet. Watch it to the end. Let's go.
Because as the cost of things around us get cheaper and more accessible and more abundant, it will be easier for governments to get involved and be able to share and redistribute these profits across everybody. And once AI and robotics are able to fully automate everything in the economy end to end, we will see the establishment of decentralized autonomous organizations. Once humans are fully out of the picture, companies will be fully decentralized and every person will have a stake in the total economy. Every human being will have ownership, a tiny stake in the total economy. We'll get to the point where we just see money as just numbers on the screen, right? Just that we used to exchange with. Just like we see in today's strategy games, right? Or RPG games. You just deploy your characters out, they mine the fields, they do the things for you, then you have the numbers on your screen. We're talking about total like economic evolution, right? This will be a global phenomenon. So as humans stray away from this money thing as being some kind of, survival mechanism, and now it's just a number on the screen, now humans will be freed up to do things they truly love to do. And we may have jobs still. We just don't know what they'll be like, because 200 years ago, most people were farmers. They could have never imagined that 200 years in the future, people will be having jobs by talking to a screen or, typing things on a computer. Nobody 200 years ago would have ever thought that that would be a job, a way of living. So perhaps in the future, our jobs will be more freeing, more passion dependent, and not, survival dependent. What we're seeing is a trend in abundance. As technology grows, abundance grows. We are way more abundant today than any time in the past. Think of what I can do right now on this computer, on this phone. I can generate an entire business through my phone. Nobody 100 years ago could have even imagined doing that. Look at the abundance levels we have today, and the future will continue this trend. Our production in the future for the average typical person will be even orders of magnitude greater than what we see today. It's just hard to tell what that will be like. But it seems like we're headed for a very incredible revolution in our global economy. But this doesn't mean we're going to be happier in the future. Happiness is subjective. You can be happy today. I can right now decrease my quality of life, go live somewhere out there in the boondocks, and be happier. Right? But something about the human being wants to continue, wants to be challenged, wants to continue at the edge of what's possible. We're looking for happiness. But maybe it's already here. Maybe happiness is always attainable. It just takes perspective.
Of course, this is something we already know, but AI is a crazy, crazy concept, and ChatGPT is even more crazy. So I have weekly meetings with my boss, and we just go over kind of the business aspect side of things and our strategies and things. And he was telling me how he was having a meeting with the even bigger boss, and he was saying how we need to start integrating some AI aspects in what we do daily. So he said that he took some hours today to kind of create some step-by-step strategic plans of what we do on a day-to-day basis, and how we present our proof of concepts of things to our business partners. And he just came up with prompts from ChatGPT on how we can better streamline, how we can get a better hold on things, how we can create some templates for things. Basically everything that I've been asking for us to have to better and more efficiently do our work and our storyboarding of things for our BU was all listed out in ChatGPT. It went even further for directions for our UX UI team, our graphic designers, our software engineers, you name it, and it had everything. And it was just making me sit there and think it is wild. And I can honestly see why there's so many jobs being at stake and so many people getting laid off and fired from companies because of ChatGPT, because it's so efficient in being able to create different ideas and things like that for people that they're not seeing a need for people in these certain jobs anymore because ChatGPT can do it all for them, and they want to eliminate these positions if they don't need it anymore. And it's just a wild, wild concept. I also think that the reason why there are a need still for some jobs is, and not some, but for many jobs, is because it's not taking full control over the whole like talking to someone aspect, the whole conversational piece and meetings and having conversations with clients and customers and what have you. And that is still a large reason that's keeping people's jobs in a sense.
AI has already started replacing jobs left and right. IBM actually is replacing 7,800 jobs with AI and automation. And it's not the jobs that you think. A lot of people think that it's going to be tech jobs. These aren't tech jobs at all. So the roles that are going to be replaced are actually HR roles. So if you're in HR, unfortunately, they are getting laid off from IBM. And IBM also came out to say that they believe that 30% of non-customer facing roles will be eliminated and replaced due to AI and automations within the...
Man, look, first of all, having an AI be head of HR is crazy. Okay, that's one thing that'll be crazy. You know what? Look, I'm gonna pull up Microsoft AI, and I'm gonna have a conversation with them and see if I can get this AI to pretend to be HR.
Welcome back.
Hi, can we do a scenario? Are you able to like pretend to be HR at a company, and then I come at you with a situation and you give me a response as if you are the head of HR? Can we do that?
Sure, I'm game. Just lay it on me and I'll give you my best HR response.
Okay, so I'm having a problem with a woman, one of my coworkers. She has been giving me inappropriate advances in the workplace, and I've went to her and I've told her a few times to stop, and I'm not interested in that. I'm married, but she still continues to do so. So she is basically harassing me, and I have evidence, I have proof, I have her on recording. I have a few of the messages that she has sent me, the inappropriate messages, and I was wondering how can we resolve this?
I'm really sorry to hear you're going through this. It's important that we address this promptly. First, I'll need to review the evidence you've gathered. Then we can conduct a formal investigation. Our goal is to ensure a safe work environment for everyone, and we'll take appropriate action based on our findings. In the meantime, if you feel uncomfortable, we can discuss options like temporary adjustments to your work situation.
Is there any way while you all are investigating, and can I work from home? Because I don't want to be in the same building with her while this investigation is happening.
Absolutely. I understand your concern. We can arrange for you to work from home while the investigation is ongoing. Your comfort and safety are our priority. Let's coordinate with your manager to set this up right away.
Well, maybe the position of HR or head of HR is in trouble because she solved that problem swiftly, and I didn't feel like, you know, she did me wrong. I think she did right. So, yeah.
next 5 years. So if you want to avoid this happening to you, the best thing for you to do is focus on careers and skills that have a lot of customer interfacing. Focus on roles that have technical skills that cannot easily be replaced by AI and automation. So you definitely want to make sure you're staying on top of this over the next few years. You want to be upskilling as much as possible.
Back in 2019, I interned for a social media team for a cybersecurity company. And one of the questions I asked my manager at the time is if she knew what she wanted to do at my age. I'm a bit older, and I only say this just because it did change how I think about how jobs, especially corporate jobs, jobs in tech, are going to evolve in the next 10 years and the next 5 years. She said that when she was my age, social media was not a thing. Like, it wasn't, especially working in social media, managing social media pages for these companies, influencer marketing, like all of these different jobs that exist today did not exist when she was my age. And thinking about how tech is evolving, especially with the introduction with AI, we're seeing this again. So whenever people ask me, like, what do I think about AI taking our jobs? Yes, it's going to take our jobs, the jobs that we have currently, but it's going to introduce a whole heap of jobs that we just don't know what they are yet. The New York Times did post an article, AI might take your job. Here are 22 new ones it could give you. And I kind of want to talk about it just because I do work in the software technology space, and I've been working in this space for about 3 years. And I already see how I'm using AI within my work. Wrote a few of them down. So one is AI auditors. So these are people who are going to dig into AI to understand what it's doing and then document it for technical, explanatory, or liability purposes. They predict that many accounting firms will have this tool for their offerings. Another similar role is an AI translator. So this is somebody that just understands AI in a whole, how it works, and then translate it into business terms for people that are not as technical. AI integrators. So this is somebody, I kind of think about it almost like an AI consultant. So these are people that understand AI and try to look at different parts of the business to integrate AI and make it more efficient and better process, just like a consultant. AI plumber. I like these terms. But an AI plumber is somebody that just fixes AI whenever it breaks, whenever something happens to it. I mean, we're going to need like human interaction when it comes to things breaking. I'll stop there and I'll link the article down below because I think it's very interesting. But that's my take on AI and how it's going to evolve the tech industry in the next 5 years, honestly, or next 2 years maybe. And my final take on this is just whenever you are thinking about going back to school and you want to get in the tech industry, start thinking about AI. And maybe taking courses on AI, or maybe even concentrating on AI, because that's where everything is moving and where the money is going to be at.
There's been debate in my field that AI will replace BIM, that AI will replace a lot of architects' jobs, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I think if it were to happen, we absolutely lose the plot. We lose our sense of belonging and being if we choose to let AI design our living spaces, the spaces we build families. We lose everything. AI image generation, which really started back in 2021 when it surged in popularity, that I think should be it in terms of automating design. Now there's a lot more AI platforms and tools that are proposed and marketed as a way to replace BIM software and programs like Autodesk Revit. A lot of them are in the residential sphere, for instance, where you could input the dimensions of your building footprint and it will give you the most optimized floor plan layouts for developers. This actually cuts out the architect in this plan, but I think already we're exhausted from seeing your typical podium buildings in every single major city, in the suburbs. I mean, they're popping up everywhere. It's a much more profitable business model too, to create rentable spaces versus single family homes, which is why we don't really see new developments really emerging anymore. This is also a factor in terms of why my generation will struggle to buy a house. I say all this to say, I think our society has been fixated and focused on profits for so long that developers really hold the cards, and developers will cut corners, and developers will try their best to erase architects from this building timeline. There's a reason why you want to go visit the Taj Mahal. There's a reason why you want to see the Parthenon and the Pantheon. There's a reason why you see all these historical
villages all over the world, and you feel so engaged in well-designed spaces, in well-designed buildings, seeing how materials interact and play with one another. And that is a human factor. It's a human scale designed for humans by humans, and that is something AI cannot replicate.
Yeah, the human aspect of it, AI will never be able to duplicate that. You know, never. Like, yes, I had a conversation with Microsoft AI pretending to be HR, but the conversation went good. Okay, she took the appropriate steps, but I think sitting in there talking to a human and a human that's able to recognize my emotions and feel my pain will always be better than talking to an AI. It just will. You know, we could have had the same conversation that I just had with the AI, and I would have came out of there feeling better if it was a human across from me and not AI.
Even if you think AI is not going to take your job anytime soon, assume it will. Because one thing's for certain and two things for sure, companies lie. They lied about job security, they lied about loyalty, they lied about pension. If you're sitting pretty thinking your job is safe, wake up. Because I remember when the creators were saying a year ago that, oh, AI is not coming for creative jobs, AI is not coming for photographers and filmmakers. And guess what? A couple years down the line, here we are. Even if your job does stay, it's probably going to be underpaid, over surveilled, and completely reconstructed so that you don't even recognize it anymore. So stop being loyal to the system and start being loyal to you. Upskill, learn something, get into it now before you're forced to.
Yeah, man, this is all about like I said, adapting. The best way for you to handle this situation is to learn AI. Like, study it. You know, study prompting. Like, get into it. Like I said, there's a lot of people fighting against computers before in this world. They didn't want computers to take over. They didn't want people to use computers. But the people who early on said, you know what? I'm going to learn computers. I am going to study computers. I am going to see how they work. I am going to be one of the first to learn. Those people, when society switched over to computers, those people were at the top of the totem pole because they understood and they knew what to do and how to fix it and how to, how to program it. They knew. That's why it was an easy transition for them. All the people who fought against computers, the transition was a struggle. So AI is coming. It's here. Learn it. I appreciate you watching. See you on the next one.